What is good, brother? It is possible to change your life in only 1 year. Right now, it's February 2024. The year is underway. If you feel like it's too late to change your life around this year, it's not. I will tell you exactly how I changed my life around in 1 year and how you can do the same in 3 steps. We're going to start with a story of when I was 16 years old. 16 was when I had my life conversion, where I realized that I was addicted to screens, to things that I didn't want to be addicted to. I realized that I was being distracted by stuff that doesn't matter, and I wanted to devote my life to faith, finding God, figuring out what this whole life thing is about, and I wanted to find a wife, find a woman. So the story is, from 16 years old, I decided to go full force, preparing myself, watching videos just like this one, and by the time I was 18 years old, I had found my wife, my woman. We got married, and happily ever after. No, not really. Okay, so here are the 3 steps. Number 1, list your priorities. And this is important and nuanced, because when I ask you what's the most important thing to you in your life, almost everyone, regardless of religious beliefs or belief systems or faith, everyone will say something along the lines of love, connection, family, friends, something like that. But those are actually not your number 1 priority, because they do not take up the adequate amount of time and attention and focus of you. Because your priorities are not dictated by what you think you should or hope to find as important, but are actually predicated on where your focus and your time and your attention is. So what do you focus most of your time and attention on? That is what you worship. That is what your priority is. And if you look at the statistics on your phone, it'll be clear and evident that your priority is actually something to do with behaviors such as going to Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, etc. The internet is what you worship, because that is where your time and your attention going. Maybe your time and attention is going towards feeling better, feeling happy, and trying to have peace of mind. And maybe that's what your priority is. My son is with me. My oldest. We went to work together, and he just gave me a sun chip. So number 1 step is to list your priorities in life. I would recommend listing the 2 or 3. Don't make it more than 3, but if you can get it down to 2, do that. The absolute most important things to you in your life. And if you can actually label the specific things that are the most important thing to you in your life for the next year, then ask yourself, does that 1 and 2 and 3 thing actually take up the most amount of your headspace, your mental real estate, your focus, your time and attention? And if it doesn't, it's okay, because we're going to get there. We're going to change your priorities so that the things that are most important to you are taking up your headspace. So, a really important hack to do this is to shift your priorities, because you've probably noticed after doing this exercise that maybe the thing important to you is your relationship with God, your faith. Maybe it's your marriage. Maybe it is making money. I don't know. Maybe it's working out or getting to shape, being healthy. Whatever your number 1 priority is, you'll probably notice that there's a discrepancy in your time and attention, in your focus, and what you actually want to do in your life. Don't worry, my car is driving itself, if you're wondering. And so the hack to do this is to spend more time in that area. Spend more time listening to podcasts and content and consuming content around the areas of things that are important to you. And naturally, what will happen is that your focus will start to shift to think more about that stuff. Your headspace, the time before you go to sleep, the time that you wake up in the morning, your first thoughts in the day and last thoughts at night are going to be about the thing that's most important, that's taking up your headspace. And so a way to do that is just to change the stuff that you're consuming. Because I know you're consuming stuff, but change it to things that are actually important to you and align with what you want to do, all right? And after you've established your priorities, the second step to change your life in 1 year is to create daily actions associated with each of those priorities. Don't think of it as like, oh, I need to do 5 these things every single morning affirmations, I need to go on a walk barefoot outside, I need to do a cold shower. No, it's one thing. There's usually one thing that will move the needle most in your priority that will get you to your end goal eventually, all right? Think of it like this. What one thing can you do every day that will almost guarantee that you will get to your goal eventually? Think about it like that. And you know there's something that is there. For example, if your goal is to lose weight, lose fat, and get more muscular, right? If that's your goal, let's say, okay, every day I'm going to walk 10,000 steps. I'm going to My son just said, wow, yeah, that's a lot. Not really. Walk 10,000 steps. You're going to intermittent fast, which means you're going to, fast until 2 p.m., 3 p.m., 4 p.m., 16 hours of fasting, whatever, you're at least 16 hours. And you're going to 3 times a week exercise or something like that. One of those things. If you can just say, okay, if I can just do the intermittent fasting, I'll get to my goal eventually. If I can just hit the gym 3 times a week, I'll get there eventually, right? And so if you make it simple like that, then what happens is you reduce the friction of like, oh, I should be doing this, I should be doing that. Oh, I missed yesterday, I failed, therefore I'm just going to give up. You just make it simple, make it easy, almost like frictionless. Like it's hard to not do it. It's hard to not remember to do the thing. So make sure you're doing at least one thing every day in association with your action. For example, if a priority for you is to find your wife, find your woman, make a priority that every day I'm going to work on a specific aspect of myself. Like if you're struggling with sexual addiction or sexual integrity or some addiction or using too much of your screen time, make one habit associated with reducing that behavior and that habit so that you can have the confidence to find your woman. Or if you're at a stage in your life where you're actually actively trying to reach out and find someone, make it a priority to every day do some kind of communication, an outreach, a response, an inquiry to someone, and talk to your parents, people you know, ask for recommendations, go on a website, whatever it is your action is, make sure it's a priority, all right? Because your actions will dictate what your real priorities are in your life. It's not just, oh, I think because people do this all the time. They say, oh, my most important thing is my kids, my wife, my relationships, my faith. But if you actually look at their schedule, there's very, very few times of the week and of the day that they're devoting to their number one priority. So it's not really their priority. And if you actually look at their schedule, their priority is about making money, about looking good, about feeling good, about having peace of mind for themselves. Basically me. No. The second action, like I said, is to have daily actions. Now, once you've done that, the third action is actually the most effective in moving the needle and changing your life, all right? And nobody does this. Nobody. Think about like this. The most successful people in the world are not doing more stuff. It's a misnomer. You're not doing more stuff. You're actually doing less of the stuff that the average person is doing. They're doing less of the stuff that the unsuccessful people are doing. And I'll tell you one specific thing that the most successful people are not doing that you're probably doing is spending endless hours being distracted by shit that doesn't matter. Shit that doesn't matter. Like what? Look at your phone stats. How much time in the last week have you spent daily on your phone, going on Instagram, YouTube, scrolling through shorts, doom scrolling endlessly? If you removed, simply by just removing that one behavior, you have hours of your life, not just time, guys, the attention, the energy that's been removed from your life, you get back. Because then you have focus. Then you naturally, by a byproduct of removing that constraint, is that you will have more time and energy and focus to do other things. You will naturally find yourself gravitating towards doing things that are more productive. Like naturally, you will pick up your phone, you will not go to Instagram, you will go, oh, I'm gonna go to my notes app, my journal app, and I'm gonna journal about something I'm excited about, some business I'm starting, something that I'm looking forward to, planning my next adventure, my next trip, voyage. Or you're gonna go to your messaging app and you're gonna call somebody or message somebody to take care of someone, right? These are the actions that you will naturally take. Your priorities will naturally shift because what the internet and social media is trying to get you to do, if you didn't know, it's trying to take your attention, which is a valuable asset that you have, and take it away from things that matter to you, ultimately, the internal, your faith, your commitments, your character, your work ethic, your relationships, love. It's trying to take away from that, and it's trying to put attention on stuff that doesn't matter. Stuff that is people are telling you matters, but it actually doesn't matter because all it does is make them a profit. It's all part of a system, guys, to take your attention away from your priorities to give it to stuff that doesn't matter. And you know this to be true. All the stuff I'm talking about, guys, I know that you know if you were to just remove the amount of time that you're endlessly, mindlessly spending on the internet, if you simply just said no, hard line, hard rules, none of it, it would change your life forever. I promise you, I guarantee it. Do it for 1 week, it will change your life because you will be more productive, have more energy, and be happier and more fulfilled than you have ever been in your entire life. Just do it for 1 week. Promise me you'll do that, okay, guys? Remove the distractions, and that's step 3. And once you've done that, go back to the first one. Remember your priorities every day, 1, 2, or 3, at max 3 priorities in your life. Make sure you're doing actions associated with each and every one of those priorities every single day. I also recommend doing weekly actions and monthly actions. So you have a monthly, weekly, and daily action to go with them. They're simple, they're frictionless, easy to do. And number 3, you have to do a detox and removal of all distractions in your life. You can do it. I made a few videos ago about how to do a complete social media detox and how to rewire your brain. I really recommend that video. Guys, you are loved more than you know. Right, buddy? And I'll see you in the next video. Let's do it.